You know, as a gamer, I absolutely hate exercise. I never do it. I've never done it. In fact, I don't think I even know how to do it. So, my worst nightmare, as you can imagine, is having to do a push-up. Or even worse, go outside. So imagine my absolute dismay when I discovered that there's a whole genre of games trying to make innocent gamers exercise. So for the good of gamers everywhere, I am going to analyze the dastardly tricks used to try and get gamers to go outside. I have downloaded 5 of these deceitful games, and I'm going to try them all to make sure I know all the tricks, everything there is to know, so I never fall for one of these. So I have 5 of these walking games. The first one is called Walker, which seems to be like a space-themed kind of, idle colony builder game. You have to make money and discover new planets and then feed them. And I think the steps can be used to like skip timers in-game, nothing too major, but I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I also have Fantasy Hike, which is the more you walk, the farther this little guy goes, and you get some like flavor stuff for how far you go. I think this is pretty cute. There might be something at the end of your journey, but honestly, no clue. It's 2,000 miles away and is currently estimating that I'll be there in 8 years. I'm also racing against someone, but again, I'm not too sure. Whether it's an NPC, whether it's an actual race, I don't know. Of course, I have one that you were probably expecting, which is Pokemon Go, where you walk around to catch Pokemon and gather things from Pokestops and then fight at gyms. I have played this before, but like not a whole lot. I kind of only ever caught Pokemon. I didn't do anything else. I didn't do the gyms. I didn't do fights. I just liked collecting all the little guys. The fourth one I have is called Pocket Plants, where I clear this little kingdom of pollution using plants, and you can like merge the plants or something. This is another game where steps aren't the primary thing about it. You spend the steps you've taken in the shop for extra energy and gems and just stuff to speed up your progress, like how it is in Walker. And finally, the last one, the cream of the crop, Pikmin Bloom. This is the only one that I've regularly played before this. It's a bit similar to Pokemon Go in the sense that you're trying to collect all the various types of Pikmin who have like a bunch of different decors on them. It's like the Pokedex. They all have like, they're covered in snow, or they have a leaf hat, or they're in a bowl of soup. Steps make your Pikmin grow. You can plant flowers when you walk around to make them bloom faster, and plant pretty flowers on a map that everyone around you can see. So like big malls and stuff will be these like huge varied flower fields. It's actually pretty cool to see. You can also send your Pikmin on expeditions to find fruits and attack mushrooms, and they'll give you nectar that you can feed to your Pikmin, and you can make all of your Pikmin bloom with the unique nectar into like various pretty flowers. It's cool. It also has a little daily mood log. So, I mean, now that we've ran through all of them, I guess the only thing left to do is to just, go out and, take a walk. Oh god, am I even gonna be able to... God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this even. I guess I just gotta... Oh my god. I'm doing it! I'm doing it! I'm touching grass! I'm walking! I'm going outside! Okay, so while I'm out on that walk, let's ponder and meditate on why Nintendo has so many different fitness games. I mean, they have 2 of these walking games alone, Pikmin Bloom, Pokemon Go, And they have a whole bunch of other console-based ones. They have Wii Fit, Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort. I think there's a Wii Sports for the Wii U even. And did you know that there's a Wii Fit for the Wii U too? Me neither. And Ring Fit Adventure. But why do they have so many? Do they have some kind of ulterior motive? I tried researching, but I really wasn't able to find a clear answer for this. Nintendo has hidden their deepest secrets well. My guess, though, is that they probably saw a market for this, especially with the whole gimmick of motion controls, and figured it would fill a good niche. But niche it did fill. And, oh my god, niche it did fill. Wii Fit sold like crazy, and Pokemon Go was massive for a while. But they've been doing this since like the 80s even. The Power Pad, where you had to put exercise into your game by running around on the pad? I mean, they're doing something here. I just have to crack what it is. Hold on, I think, am I knocking on the... What the fuck? I think, am I knocking on the window? You know what? I totally forgot my keys. Okay, it just ended up having to go through the window, so... Back from my walk, I guess. Let's talk about each of these games. Now, let's get this rolling with Walker and Pocket Plants. They kinda suck. They're pretty shitty idle games. I guess Pocket Plants is more like a merge game, but they both, like, aren't really good or even entertaining mobile games. The game side of it is very boring, and the walking part of it is questionable. They both use steps to get in-game currencies faster, but it really isn't that great, and it's just kinda unnecessarily tacked on to a pretty shitty mobile game. These games would be completely the same without the steps, that they don't really add anything. They're bad walking games. Walker gets a 4 out of 10, it's meh, it's just very boring, and Pocket Plants gets a 2 out of 10. Because it was obviously even cheaper and less well-made than Walker, and it's still incredibly boring. Fantasy Hike is pretty good. I think that this app is very cute. I enjoyed it. It doesn't have any, like, direct motivation, but I like the visualization of how far you've come, I like the flavor of the world, and I like having a pretty clear-cut goal to me. I must say, though, the goal is a little bit lofty. I wish I started with something a bit smaller than 2,000 miles, but I enjoy this quite a bit. I've even got my estimate for completion down from 8 years to 5 years. But I was wondering, while I was walking, why it wasn't going down to below 5 years, because I thought I was walking at a pace to where it would. I discovered a reason I must dock points for. It's that this game has a subscription service that limits you to traveling 1 mile a day, which means that I literally cannot complete this in less than 2,000 days in a shorter time than 5 years without paying for every month of those 5 years. I understand getting paid for this thing you made, but I think there's better ways to go about it. Make it cosmetic, make it about a cyberpunk thing, or like just different themes, you know, for your adventure. I would totally get that if I enjoyed the app, but having the travel limit really just pushed me away. Fantasy Hike is a solid walking app that is unfortunately brought down very heavily by that subscription service. I say 5 out of 10. I've gotta say that, unsurprisingly, the game made by the AAA studio and maybe biggest name in video games ever had the best ones. Obviously, Pikmin Bloom and Pokemon Go blow these games out of the water by a long shot. There's just so much more to do in these games, and everything has so much more polish. I mean, I've been playing Pikmin Bloom for a while, so I'm aware of how much content there is in that game. Main thing is growing and collecting all the different Pikmin. From ones with stickers and coins to pizza and coffee. It's cute, it's pretty chill. There's a good amount of things to do with all the mushrooms, expeditions, flower planting, and seasonal and monthly challenges. It can be a very casual to a pretty intense if you want to go that direction to track your steps, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Pokemon Go, in comparison, I found to be a bit more intense. Catching Pokemon, battling with gyms, having to walk to all those Pokestops and gyms. I have played this before, but I revisited it for this. And I got attacked by a Team Rocket grunt, which I don't remember being in the game when I stopped. This was so overwhelming, actually, with how much stuff there was, that I did not understand. It seems like it has a lot of things to do, but you have to be a bit more active, and also you have to walk to places instead of just around. Something I like with Pikmin Bloom is it's mainly about just walking around. Your steps count towards everything. But in Pokemon Go, you have to walk to the gyms, you have to walk to the Pokestops, you have to walk around to find more Pikmin. This one isn't particularly my cup of tea. I find it just a little bit too overwhelming for me. But I totally get why you would get into this. What I did play of it was pretty fun, and I do still like it. Pikmin Bloom and Pokemon Go are both fantastic walking games, probably some of the best you can get. They're great for playing casually and even more intense, and they've even inspired me to actually go outside and do things and go on walks and stuff. So, you know, I gotta rate them a 9 out of 10. My final thoughts for this are that I'm pretty surprised that there aren't as many walking games as I thought. I thought that there would be a lot more of them with how big Pokemon Go was, but I was kind of struggling to find some ones that aren't just normal step trackers or crypto scams. There's really not as much quality as I thought. I mean, I understand them not all being like AAA developments, but like there were some shitty ones in the mix, especially those first ones I reviewed. I don't know, but maybe I just wasn't looking in the right place. Maybe I was searching the wrong genre. Maybe there's more of them on like the Play Store or something. You know, if you have any walking games that I didn't cover that you use or just want to see me look at, tell me. Any disagreements with my ratings? I don't care. But I mean, if I did, in theory, care, you could leave a comment about it, and you could like the video, and if you want to see more stuff like this, you could do both of those things and subscribe. I mean, that would be stupid, because I obviously don't care. Please just subscribe. I desperately crave the validation. I'm such a sad